Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the video that you've all been waiting for. What do I think about the final 12 of PD48? A lot of people are hating IZ*ONE so far, and I'm seeing very mixed reviews of the group. And that's because of not only how the series transpired, but how some of the members are rubbing off to the fans. Now, this video isn't to fry all the trainees that I don't like and to roast the group as a whole simply because of a few questionable members, but rather this is to analyze the group as a viable K-pop group, give my first impressions and thoughts of them, and if possible to predict what roles each member will have once they debut. Now, of course I have some, colorful opinions on some of the members. But guys, before we start, do you guys see this thing in my hand? You see, this in my hand is what's called a generalization. You know what's the difference between this and dirt? Nothing, because they both get swept? Get out of here! We don't need that here. But really, I'll do my best to analyze the group as objectively as I can, and predict their positions as realistically to K-pop standards as I can. But please do forgive me if I spaz occasionally because I do have a lot of favorites in this group. And I do also like to apologize in advance if I happen to offend anyone by thinking a certain way or critiquing a member in a harsh manner. These are my observations and my expectations after all, so please do be warned about that. So I'm gonna start off from rank 12 going up to rank 1. It's gonna be a long one, so friends, everybody come gather around here, get comfortable, take a sit, take a load off. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started, shall we?
Change up.
Change up, change up, change up. Change up, change up, change up. 너로 가득해 1000%.
Alright, starting off with Lee Chaeyeon. Now Chaeyeon, I'm super happy with being in this group. Now with Twice being my ultimate bias group, of course I knew who she is and of course I was supporting her from day one. She's an amazing dancer, solid hip-hop foundations, and a born performer at that. So I for one am glad that she was in the final 12. The decision came down between her or Han Chaeyeon, and while I would have been okay with either girl, I'm happy it's Chaeyeon. I just hope that Chaeyeon will be okay with surviving a cube for a little bit while longer, because we all know what happened there recently. Now, we didn't get to see much of Chaeyeon's skill back during 16 days simply because she was one of the first to be eliminated, but with Produce 48, she definitely came a long way. Now, I'll be honest though, I didn't expect Chaeyeon to get this far. Like, yeah, she's one of the best dancers of the season, but I had this darkest feeling that national producers were gonna shaft her. And I thought they'd go through with it too. And during the finale when they revealed the 4 runners for 12th place, I was rooting for, well, all 4 of them. I like them all. I was leaning more towards Kaeun, but then after I heard that she was like 14th, a moment of silence for our fallen. But really, in IZ*ONE, I think Chaeyeon's gonna be a very valuable asset to the team. There's no doubt that Chaeyeon is either gonna be a lead or a main dancer in IZ*ONE. But vocal-wise, consistently throughout the season, she showed that she was capable of hitting them high notes. However, with the likes of Jo Yuri and Kwon Eun-bi in the group, I'm sure that Chaeyeon would be given a solid lead vocal position with maybe the main dancer. Chae is a formidable dancer and her vocals have been proven time and time again. Not only that, but she's very versatile with concepts. She could pull off both cute and girl crush. So with whatever concept that IZ*ONE debuts with, there's no doubt that Chaeyeon will help the group excel. Overall, Chaeyeon's a good all-rounder, and the group can only benefit from having her in the lineup. Her only weaknesses as far as I could see is how she deals with pressure and stress. She seems to crack under pressure, but in her defense, it was the concept evaluations after all, where stress was at an all-time high. But she's close with many of the IZ*ONE members, so she has a great support system going for her. Minju. Okay, so I initially had problems with her, as do most people. At first, I thought she was going to be the visual of the season and only a visual. And many people still believe that. However, re-watching her fan cam, she's actually quite solid. Her vocals are decent, it's nothing too mind-blowingly amazing, but they're decent. She'd fall more under the dancer category than vocalist if you ask me personally. Now, as for her performance style, I do see and understand why people don't really like her as much as the other members. It seems that people aren't really too fond of the pure charm and only see her for her visuals. However, looking past that, she is actually a really solid performer. Stiff at times, but when she gets into the performance, she can really shine. With the performances available to us, yeah, she lacks confidence. But I honestly feel like that's going to change over time. With certain concepts like 1000%, Minju really owns it. I feel that if Minju were just a little more expressive, just a little more expressive, that would help her elevate her skill past scrutiny. Maybe instead of focusing on looking pure, maybe she could have smiled a little bit more during 1000%. Like, if she were to put her whole soul, her whole being into the performance, I think that would really seal the deal for me. Now, looking at IZone, no doubt, she's one of the visuals. I can already hear the Chewy comparisons going up in here. Like, yes, we get it, she's pretty, but she's good at other things too. But I can definitely see Minju either getting the sub or the normal vocalist position. I don't want to give her the lead dancer position simply because there's a lot more skilled dancers in IZone, though she's pretty good herself. But like I said, if Minju could just gain a little bit more experience and enjoy her performances a little more, that would make the difference and help me stan her. Now with Chaeyeon, I'll be honest here, I wasn't really paying too much attention to her throughout the series, and I also thought that national producers would shaft her too. But when I heard her name announced as 10th, it was more of a pleasant surprise than a WTF moment. However, since I didn't pay too much attention to Chaeyeon too much, she's the member of IZone that I know the least about. But like Minju, she has that pure princess charm to her. I mean, I guess that's why she has the nickname of Princess Chaeyeon. And actually, the more that I watch her self-cam during the concept evaluations, the more I see why people like her. Her expressions are really good, and her dancing is pretty sharp. I expected nothing less from a trainee coming from Woollim. That's what sets her apart from Minju in my eyes. Now, vocal-wise, she's pretty versatile, but not as versatile as Chaeyeon. In the concept evaluations, she got the rap part and the killing parts as well. And for her Into the New World performance, her vocals became so much more visible. And because of it, I see Chaeyeon as a lead vocal more than anything. I think that Chaeyeon can hold her own, and her vocals are pretty stable to be a lead vocalist. On a side note, however, does anybody else think that Chaeyeon kinda looks like a pre-snap Chungha? Like a younger, cutesy Chungha? No? Just me? I'm the weird one? Okay, let's move on. Little strawberry squirrel Hitomi. Ever since the episode of her and Eunchae leading their class rank in the dance classes, I was hooked on this cutie. Now, as the first Japanese member to be announced as part of IZone, I'm glad Hitomi was one of them. She's a good dancer, one of the best from AKB in my opinion. She doesn't have any issues in the realm of dance, she has good facial expressions, she can be sharp and fluid when she wants to be, and her stage presence, while not as ground-shattering as Eunbi's or Chaeyeon's, is still pretty remarkable. She's really tiny compared to the other members, so I'm hoping that formation-wise, they'll place her more at the front formation so we can all see her better. And I honestly think this could work out position-wise. Hitomi's singing is the only thing that's the slightest bit worrisome to me. Hitomi has a high-pitched, squirrely voice, and it's rather soft. So high notes aren't much of a problem for her because of her naturally high voice, but it's possible for her to range between the sub or the regular vocalist. I personally don't see her belting main vocal lines, and knowing Korean entertainment agencies, they're not going to give a lot of lines to the AKB members, so I can see Hitomi being a sub vocal to a regular vocalist with the lead dancer. I'm kidding, y'all. Put your pitchforks and keyboards down. Hey, you in the comment section, scroll back up here. I still got things to say. As y'all could probably tell, Hyewon is the member that I have issues with. Like, throughout the season, I had the deepest feeling that she was going to make it into the finale. That somehow she'd beat all of my favorite trainees, and the national producers would prioritize her over my Produce 48 biases. And it came true.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows? Only
But enough of that I told you guys that I'm not here to bash the trainees, but to analyze the viability of the group as a whole. We're not about hate here. Hyewon and IZONE, I'll be honest, she's the member that I am the most worried for. There's no doubt, I agree, she progressed and improved throughout the season. Compared to her audition, she is much better than before. However, she still has ways to go. Addressing the elephant in the room, her facial expressions and stage presence needs a lot of work. Now listen, I understand that being pure and looking innocent is kind of her thing, but at some performances, her facial expressions don't seem to fit the concept at all, and at some point she just looks uncomfortable. It's just the same unblinking eyes for the whole time, rarely even smiling. So I honestly don't even know if she's enjoying the performances or not. Her Let's Meet Again performance was better, but she's still got ways to go. I have a feeling they're going to make her either the main or the lead rapper of IZONE, since she's the closest member to the primary position of a rapper. All the members of IZONE are primarily vocalists or dancers. And even though we heard Wonyoung and Yujin rap before, I doubt either of them would get main rapper because it's not their primary role. And believe it or not, Hyewon actually rapped the most out of the 12 members of IZONE throughout the entire competition, so it's most likely that she'll receive the main rapper by default. And though some concepts don't really suit her, like Girl Crush, she does suit the innocent vibe, but she did a really good job with ballad rap, more or less. You guys know what I'm talking about. During the Don't Know You performance, the charms that she already had kinda worked in her favor. She didn't have to be super expressive, and her lower tone suited the song as well. But Hyewon, I sincerely hope that she'll take the advice that she gained from the trainers throughout the season to heart. To project more, to express more, to be more confident. And that's what angered me the most throughout the season too. The trainers are giving her all the advice they possibly can, but all of that means nothing if she does not act on it. And honestly, from that point to the season finale, it didn't seem like she took that advice to heart just yet. So I hope from now until debut, she'll get a lot more personalized and focused training, because she needs it the most out of the 12 IZONE members. And I know she will. I'm sure all of them will get more focused training from now till debut. Now the worst thing that could happen is that the company would not give her the training that she needs, and will get the same robotic, unblinking facial expressions during their debut song. But you guys know me, I'm all about giving people a second chance, and believing in the best of them. So knock on wood, Hyewon, if you're going to be the main rapper of IZONE, please do your best to improve astronomically from now on. If she wants to be a worthy member of IZONE in my eyes, I want her to improve so much that she'll force me to regret not standing her during the season. That she'll put Yena and Yuri in jeopardy of being kicked off my bias list. I could go on and on, but you guys understand what I'm getting at, right? And speaking of being worthy of booting Yena and Yuri off my bias list, there is only one IZONE member that's capable of doing that. Mama Kwon Eunbi. Now, some of y'all may be wondering why I call Eunbi Mama Eunbi. And that's simply because, in my eyes, she is the best candidate for the leader role. And not to mention, she takes really good care of her fellow Willem trainees, and there's no doubt she's gonna take that trait and bring it over to IZONE. I've been looking forward to diving deeper into Eunbi's skills since the start of this video. Eunbi, she has it all. She's one of the best dancers, if not the best dancer in the lineup. Now, no doubt she'll get either lead or main dancer, and y'all can fight me if you think otherwise. Like, look at Sorry Not Sorry or Rumor and tell me she's not main dancer material. Tell me I'm wrong and tell me why. She's got mad stage presence, her facial expressions are subtle yet absolutely killer. And not to mention her vocal skills are top quality. Like, ladies and gentlemen, I think for the first time in forever, we may have our first main vocal, main dancer ever since Chaeyeon. Like, Eunbi proved herself absolutely fully capable throughout the season to hit high notes. And I would have lost it if she didn't make it. I would have lost all faith in Mnet. I mean, it wasn't much to begin with, but you guys get what I mean. So wrapping up this one here, folks, Kwon B. Will she be the first main vocal main dancer of this new generation? I think so. But if anything, I'd be cool with Eunbi getting the lead vocal and the main dancer. As long as she gets lead or main dancer, I'd be cool with it. But national producers, let's cross all fingers that we have that she will be the main dancer. She deserves it and she's capable. Let's make it happen, y'all. Finally, a member shorter than me! Nako's just this adorable little bean, and straight off from the get-go, she gave the vibe to me of like, yep, she's definitely gonna make it. Her Jivan performance kinda sealed the deal for me, but on a caveat. Now you see, Nako has the stereotypical high-pitched J-pop singing style, and that may be the contributing factor of her being able to hit Yuju's high notes, but she's still lovable in many regards. And like I said, Nako's voice is the J-pop style. It's cute and very high-pitched, but I honestly feel that could work in her favor. IZ*ONE is gonna be promoted in both Korea and Japan as far as I know. So her voice may prove to be an asset moreover than something to improve on. And the same could be said for Hitomi and Sakura, honestly. But since we literally have no idea what their concept is gonna be when they debut, if they go for cute and pure, which I think that's gonna be the most likely case, I think Hitomi, Sakura, and Nako would do very well. But however, imagine if IZ*ONE got the girl crush concept. I know Sakura could rock it, but imagine seeing them like go off, like all of them snatching up wigs. You see a bunch of lip bites, power posing and winking, and then you see this adorable bean come on screen. But in all seriousness, everyone, Nako's performing style is nearly made for innocence, cute, G-friend / lovelies concepts. Her smile is so cute and she flaunts it with every single performance. She knows how and when to play an audience. Plus her dancing ain't too bad either. Vocal-wise, I think Nako could be a good lead vocal. The fandom's already very well acquainted with her singing style and would be disappointed to not hear her voice attempt some of the high notes. However, I'm not trying to be mean here. Historically, non-Korean vocals are not given as many lines to begin with, unfortunately. So I think if anything, Nako would take either the regular or the lead vocalist position. This is the best that I could give her, but it's definitely not the worst either. Because even though Nako's most likely to be shafted for lines like her fellow J-Line cohorts, like how K-pop treats all international members, I think their company would be a fool not to utilize Nako's voice. My first Produce 48 bias before Yena came in and changed everything. She kinda reminded me of how Sejong was back during season 1, and since Sejong is my Gugudan bias and my IOI bias wrecker, you guys could probably put 1 and 2 together. She first caught my attention through her personality, her stage presence, and her laugh out of all things. As the season went on, despite me bias hopping over to Yena, I started to lose my taste in Yujin. I apologize, Yujin stans, this normally doesn't happen. I don't want to say that Yujin's performing style became old news to me, how dare I say that about a top 5 member, but I don't know what happened here. Yujin is a good singer, has a beautiful personality, her stage presence is great and wonderful, and her dancing following just as well. She has literally everything I'm looking for in a good K-pop artist. She should be a bias wrecker for me. Like earlier in the season when she was trying for center, I was like, ooh yeah baby, get it, you can rock that center, you're gonna rock it! But then a couple episodes later and later on in the season, when she actually became the center, I was like, To me, it seemed that they should have stuck with Kion for the center, but Yena really shined during IM. But I digress from my personal issues. On Yujin, like I said, she's a good singer. Her stage presence, wonderful. She can keep up with the best dancers in the game. She's a good all-rounder. She got it all. Role-wise, she could be very versatile. Lead vocal for sure, but I don't know why. I could see her be a sub or a lead rapper at this point too. Her rapping in Very was decent, but she shines more as a lead vocalist in my eyes. Her voice is really confident. I admire that about her. She looks like she genuinely enjoys performing. And I really respect that. That makes the difference between a good and a bad performance. Yujin can be dorky at times, which I personally like. It shows off her youthful personality and her youthful heart. Now, I know she's only 15 and or 14 depending depending on how you want to look at international or Korean age, but she kind of reminds me of the types of girls that are the type to be the be careful who you make fun of in middle school type of people. Like in middle school, you would make fun of her because she looked geeky, but then later down in the line in like high school or college, whatever, she all of a sudden has this major glow up that makes you eat your words. But heck, she's still in high school, so that statement is probably still in the process, and I'm sure she's breaking hearts of men and women left and right. And speaking of breaking my heart, Chaeyeon stole mine! Now for those of you that kept up with my incomplete series of Here's What You Missed on Produce 48, y'all are very well aware that I am a Yena stan. Yena is my iZone bias. Like Yujin and Eunbi, Yena has it all. However, Yena has one thing that Eunbi and Yujin don't.
내 마음!
My heart. That's what she has. Yena, in my eyes, was born to be a K-pop idol. Like this, if you were to open, like, let's say, her Sorry Not Sorry performance, or watch her be the center for one of the finale performances, and if I were to tell you,
Hey, this girl has been performing in the K-pop industry for years!
you'd probably agree she does not look like or perform like a rookie. Like whatever concept that you throw at her, cutesy, sexy, girl crush, whatever concept that you give Yena, she will own it. Like her facial expressions come very naturally, none of them look forced at all. Her dancing, like Yujin, is on par with the best of the season. Her vocal style is quite unique, it's soft yet powerful at the same time. Does that make sense? I don't know if that made any sense, but Yena's voice is like, let's say, louder than Nako and Hitomi, but softer than Eunbi and Yuri. Yet she's able to confidently hold notes and ad-lib when she needs to. Not to mention her quirky personality and stage presence. I may sound a little biased here, which I am, but whenever her face is shown on camera, I know that this is Yena time. She reminds me of Yoonji Sung from 101 with his quirky, meme-worthy personality and stage presence. Now Yena, to me, is kind of like watching your best friend like pop off when they're dancing. Like you see them, they're really good. But you know that behind all of that blazing charisma is your derpy weirdo best friend. And that makes you hesitate from taking her seriously. Yena is so good, but each and every time I'm reminded that this girl
Talk that talk, baby. Better walk that walk, baby. Oh yeah.
is the same as this girl. This is my bias, everyone. But role-wise, Yena, I'm pretty sure she's going to get the lead vocal and lead dancer roles. In addition, because of her quirky personality, she'll definitely be the variety star of the group. I can hear and see the mouth pops and fan service on Weekly Idol and Idol Room now. But bottom line, Yena's talent cannot be denied. She's more than her, and she consistently proved that throughout the whole season. So I'm definitely looking forward to her debuting in iZone. And speaking of being happy for someone's debut, Jo Yuri is debuting, y'all! Now, I didn't watch Idol School, but I have seen some of her performances on Idol School, and this little Yoojung twin has came a long way. Yuri's gotta be my second iZone bias here, not only because of her raw vocal power, but also because of that angelic smile. I don't know if it's just me, but I think that Jo Yuri has the most beautiful smile in the entire competition. I follow like 5 Jo Yuri fan accounts just so I can see her smile pop up more on my Insta feed. Which, by the way, you guys should follow me at SYJofficial on Instagram, by the way. But Jo Yuri, my main vocal. Throughout the season, she was always put up against Nago-eun as the main vocal. And even though I love both of them, I was on Team Yuri all the way. And I'm super happy she's in the final group. There's no doubt that Yuri is going to be a main vocal. My only concern with Yuri is that her voice could be too powerful and too raw at sometimes. Like, there's no denying her vocal strength, but there are times where she's like straining herself too much to hit a certain note. Like, her voice is like a double-edged sword. It's super powerful, but if she's not careful with it, she may blow out her own voice. But that's what training is for, which I'm sure that all of them are gonna get the proper training that they need before debut season comes around. Princess Sakura. Okay, finale time talk though. When the center decision came between Sakura and Wonyoung, I honestly would have rather had Sakura as the center over Wonyoung. Nothing against Wonyoung, I love our giant baby. However, this is Produce 48. This is the season's first ever collaboration with Japanese media. It would have been so much more meaningful if an AKB48 member or Japanese trainee would receive the title as center. Like Sakura could have been the first non-Korean center from a Produce group. She could have been an icon or a bridge between the K-pop and J-pop cultures. Imagine the power and the profound meaning that could have had. I just would have loved to see Sakura or at least a Japanese center. Now Sakura, the reason why I chose to stand her and Judy among the many Japanese trainees available to us is because she stayed true to herself and to her mission statement from the very beginning. Like, yeah, it's time to get cheesy, yeah, shh. Sakura acknowledged that most of the Japanese trainees weren't getting very high ranks from the get-go. But she wanted to show that even though she came from a completely different culture and pop industry, that she could still be good and shine just as bright as everyone else. And shine she does. Sure, Sakura can do cute, she could do innocent. But when she stepped out of her comfort zone and do, like, oh my goodness, Sakura could do that! Like, who knew that our cherry blossom could burn like that? Like, okay, work! Sakura isn't afraid to step out of her comfort zone, and while it does get her into tough situations at times, when she pulls it off, she pulls it way off. Now, considering Sakura's popularity and how she performed during the finale episode, Sakura could be a lead vocalist at best, but I see her fitting the regular vocalist position as well. I feel like I'm being too generous by giving all of the Japanese trainees a range between lead and regular voices, but their voices really do fall under this range. I'm not doing this on purpose. However, with the popularity factor, if the K-pop industry, if their company is going to give any more lines to any of the international members, it'd have to be Sakura. Also, listen to You're in Love, Aren't You from the finale episode. Her vocals are really good with what little lines she got. It may be also because the song is in Japanese and its overall genre is very J-poppy in nature, but she's still good regardless. Like, that song is the perfect blend between K-pop and J-pop styles. I personally wouldn't mind if IZONE's debut song sounded like that. And using that song as a bass line, I could see Sakura playing a similar role in the group. So for Sakura, lead to regular vocalist. And lastly, our giant baby, and the reason for the many FBI break-ins this year, Wonyoung. Now Wonyoung, while I do love this little one a bit, how dare I call her little one, she's probably like twice my height. Her at IZONE Center is kinda, to me. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm very happy for her that she got the center position. But like I said in Sakura's segment, I would have rather had her as the center. It's not just because of her age, I don't doubt her talent at all at a young age. She's really good for a 13/14-year-old. But I feel like, in the words of the great JYP, back in the interview where he was asked why he didn't debut Somi with Twice, he likened Somi to like unfermented kimchi. Still a very weird and odd analogy, but I understand what he means. It's still good, but if you wait and take care of it for a little while longer, it'll taste even better. I feel like it's the same here with Wonyoung. She's still in middle school, if not a freshman in high school. If she's this good now, imagine how she would be if she's 18 when she's 21. You hear that? That's the sound of a million fanboys' noses bleeding profusely. K-pop idols are getting younger and younger, and I'm getting older and older. Skill-wise, Wonyoung's dancing is, something else. We're all very well acquainted with the infamous side-to-side performance that sent all of us fanboys to jail. And her style falls more along the cutesy lines like how she was during Rollin' Rollin'. That was her song. Would you? But she's definitely versatile, I can say that much. However, the only weakness or concern that I have about Wonyoung is her high-pitched, rather undeveloped voice. I love how confident she is, don't get me wrong. However, the same concern with the Japanese trainees is the same concern that I have with Wonyoung. She has this naturally high-pitched and squeaky voice, and while yeah, it's cute and adorable, it's only cute and adorable if it's used correctly. Like songs like Rollin' Rollin', it works there. However, I'm not 100% sure if Wonyoung's voice could suit the girl crush or the EDM type style concept. Her dancing is very versatile, it's just her vocals are the only factor of concern here. But like I said, she's still very young, and I'm sure that each of the 12 girls are going to receive the training that they need to truly shine during debut. So role-wise, of course Wonyoung is gonna get the center, but vocals she could just get the regular vocalist position, lead dancer, and maybe sub-rapper if she's lucky. She may get more of the star treatment because she's the center, so she'll probably get more lines than the average vocalist. But ladies and gentlemen, as a group, I have no idea where IZ*ONE is gonna go concept-wise. We got many girls that could pull off the cutesy concept, like the Japan line, Wonyoung, and Chaeyeon, but we also got many girls that could crush the competition, like Chaeyeon, like Eunbi, and like Yujin. But at the same time, we got members that could do both, like Yena, Minju, Hitomi, and Sakura. My hopes is that they'll get a similar concept for their debut to You're in Love Aren't You from the finale episode. It encapsulates everything that Produce 48 is going for, and it's the perfect blend, the perfect mix between K-pop and J-pop styles. And I hope that's what IZ*ONE will be despite there only being 3 Japanese members. But knowing that they'll be collaborating with AKB48's producer Yasushi Yakimoto, and to my knowledge is a genius composer and producer, I think us national and international producers could sleep well at night knowing that their songs are in good hands. Now ladies and gentlemen, silent and active and alike, while looking deeper into IZ*ONE's members and their respective talents, I came to realize that this lineup isn't as bad as everyone makes it out to be. Yes, we got lots and lots of visuals, and a majority of the girls are still very young, and there are some members like Hyewon that still have ways to improve. But I have faith in them that they'll do well. Or at least I'm choosing to put my faith in them rather than being all salty about it. That, and I already vented out all my salt already. But it's a lot less stressful and a whole lot more rewarding to look at their strengths and believe that they'll improve with time and the proper training. And to wake up every day saying,
"This group is trash because this member isn't in it. She didn't deserve to be in IZ*ONE."
I get it friends, I was in the same boat as you, but the time for salt is over now. This is IZ*ONE. This is the lineup whether we like it or not. I tell you guys, wait for October to come around, or November to come around, or the later months, and watch them take the nation by storm. Imagine this, if Sohye and Gwanle could improve to become international superstars, so can these girls. No, imagine this. It's 2019, it's Mama season. IZ*ONE takes the stage. Sakura and Wonyoung open up the song with their welcoming voices. Yujin, Chaeyeon, and Yena get your ears hyped for the chorus. Minju, Hyewon, and Chaeyeon destroy your bias list through their killer parts and visuals. Nako, Eunbi, and Yuri absolutely dominating those high notes. And Hitomi, Eunbi, and Chaeyeon rocking and putting in that work in the dance break. Imagine a performance like that. It's hard to believe a performance could exist, you say? Well, if IZ*ONE's performances aren't up to those standards, then you can come back to this video, link me the performance, and tell me I'm wrong. I'd be cool with it. But if they do end up owning those stages, and becoming very successful subverting all expectations, I guess I win. But ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my IZ*ONE member analysis. But everyone, I want to know what you guys think about IZ*ONE after watching this video. Do you guys agree with my predictions, or are they astronomically different? What positions do you see each member having? And who is your IZ*ONE bias, and why? Let me know your guys' thoughts and more in the comment section down below. And guys, just a friendly reminder to please keep it clean and mature in the comment section down below. I don't want to see anyone bash a trainee. I would rather see constructive criticism or constructive feedback for each member if you like them a little bit lesser than another. If you guys have any thoughts and opinions about the Produce 48 season as a whole, please go ahead and check out my video that I'm linking up in the icon up here of my video going over the good, the bad, and the ugly of Produce 48. But yes, everybody, if you guys enjoyed this video today, go ahead and hit the like, hit the subscribe icon, and ring the bell icon today to make sure you guys are notified of the next video coming out. You guys aren't missing a thing, and to become a silent N today. But yes, everybody, that's my time. My name is Nathan, SYJOfficial, and until then, see you guys next time. Bye.